Perfect. Do you see the screen?
Perfectly, thank you.
Perfect. Well, good morning to everybody. Welcome to Circular Territories, the topic of our day. First of all, many thanks to Incuna and to Miguel Alvarez to make this possible. And many thanks for the opportunity that we can organize this conference day that is in the framework of the 23rd International Conference on Industrial Heritage that will be held by Incuna in September, as Miguel already explained. From our side, I'm coming from Leibniz University Hannover, from the chair of Territorial Design and Urban Planning. And I want especially to highlight Federica Scafidi, who is the curator of this conference today, and but also Ricardo Capella and Alissa Disch. And I would like to mention that the topic of circular territories is developed in the framework of the Medways research project that is organized by Moserici at the Accademia dei Lincei. And we are very glad that he can make it possible at noon to give the keynote lecture for the day. Circular territories, what is it about? Maybe let's start first with circular. Circularity will be one of the most important topics in the next years, dealing with climate change. No? What is the challenge of the days that we are having? No? And probably we are just seeing the peaks, no, of the iceberg that constitutes climate change, everything it induces, and all the impacts, and also the connected things in society and in economy. European Union already since 2019 set up the European Green Deal with the aim to make Europe climate neutral by 2050, to decarbonize economy, decarbonize everyday life. Also this with a lot of consequences in society and economy. At the same time, the new European Bauhaus Initiative has been launched. It's connected to the European Green Deal and aims to combine sustainability, inclusiveness, and culture, and to bridge between the world of science and technology and the world of art and culture. Circular economy has already since several years been identified as a core access and a tool, a basic concept that goes beyond material cycles. And it becomes increasingly clear that speaking about circular economy is also about cycles of knowledge. It's about cycles of economy, especially in a local focus. It's about a lot of social aspects that it includes. And just to mention some key aspects, the transition to a circular economy not only includes green economy concepts and regional material cycles, valorization of waste and loss, but also local value change and consumer and social innovation-oriented processes. It regards bioeconomy, energy systems, mobility systems, production systems, and for example, also sustainable building, in construction, housing, renewable materials. This is a particular challenge if we look not only at the big metropolises in Europe, like Paris, Rome, Madrid, Berlin, where such initiatives since several years are ongoing, but if we look outside, for example, to Asturias, but also to a lot of other territories in Europe that are constituted in confrontation to the big metropolises, and have to find their own way to deal with all these topics. And speaking about territorial innovation, certainly, it aims at resilience and sustainability, but also has to consider the quality of life and the gained effects for people through this big effort that we all will have to take in the Green Deal. And it regards not only economy, no, what is the first dimension if you think about innovation, but certainly also culture and society. And this will be one of the big challenges, no, to combine these fields. And in, let's say, a more spatial sense, no, it's about setting up new poles, new centers, new networks to enable frameworks and to combine people, space, and ideas in new ways. I just want to show briefly a bit of the background, why we started this initiative of circular territories. First of all, what Miguel already mentioned is the Creative Food Cycle project that has been funded in the Creative Europe program in the last 3 years in a collaboration together with the Institute of Advanced Architecture in Barcelona and the University of Genova. That and Creative Food Cycles now dealt with a cultural creative approach to closing cycles in the whole food culture and food economy, no? So from production, distribution, to consumption, and to disposition. This was like the working plan. And you can find more information on our website, creativefoodcycles.org, where you can find a catalog and the 2 books we published about this project. There will be also contributions today about Creative Food Cycles. A second project we concluded right in this week's is called Cosmopolitan Habitat. That's the book published. It was a project together with the University of Palermo, with Maurizio Carta, and it's edited together with Federica Scafidi and Annalisa Contato. Cosmopolitan Habitat, what does it mean? What it's about? We dealt, well, the book was presented in the Barcelona Architecture Week just this May, so it's super fresh, no? And what we did was asking about a role of avant-garde, of cities, but also of smaller towns, facing global challenges that include not only climate change, but also social division, migration, cultural questions, no? And basically we formulated 3 access roads, no, that there with atmospheres, accelerators, and makers to, let's say, open up this topic about urban resilience, and with the term habitat, no, also the connection between spaces of people and spaces of nature. Third point, medways. We are very glad that we can include circular territories in the research of medways, a project set up by Moserici at the Accademia dei Lincei. And now the ways of the Mediterranean deals, let's say, not only with physical connections, but also with cultural, economic, social connections around the Mediterranean in a comprehensive perspective. And it will run in the next 3 years. And there will be an exhibition and conference in Rome in the end. In this framework, we specifically address 3 areas in the Mediterranean, in Puglia, Sicily, and Andalusia, with the special focus between bioeconomy and territorial innovation. Just to mention, no, that it's about Catania and the let's say territories around, about Bari and Puglia, and about Sevilla and the valley of the Guadalquivir. Exactly, you get an impression, no, what we are, and about this we are currently working with our students, and at noon you will get a short insight, no, what we are actually doing, reported directly by our students. I'm very glad also about this opportunity. Well, circular territories, what could be, let's say, something that bundles together the whole day. our interest is to look for the linkages between circular economy and territorial innovation in both senses. No? So on the one hand, certainly how innovations, new initiatives in circular economy that are not only linked to technology, to new economic models, but also to new social models, how to organize this innovation can influence the transition towards sustainability in our territories. And certainly, on the other hand, we have to question, what do we have to offer for such initiatives, that they can grow? How do we need to change our thinking about territorial innovation? How do we need to change policy frameworks? What strategies should we set up to make this transition possible? And let's say in the topics that we will deal with today, we say that this is not only, let's say, about business plans, about organization models, or about policies. It's directly about inventiveness in many sense. Inventiveness that comes from creative industries that can play a major role in this change. It comes from heritage as a resource that is not only important for some collective sense, that is to be linked with this transition, but really also directly as a resource, especially how to deal with nature. We can discover a lot. It's about communities that aim to go towards resilience, that find new ways to organize, to motivate themselves, to play a role in bigger constellations. And as already mentioned, certainly it's about spatial strategies and frameworks. What's, let's say, our core business as urban and territorial planners. Overall, I think it's about inventing urban life and urban materiality anew. And urban in this sense now includes all kinds of settlements, also towns and villages. So it's basically about how people want to live together, and how this new quality can play an important role in the transition towards resilience. Well, and following a proposition by Ellen MacArthur Foundation to characterize circular cities, I would like to transfer this to circular territories, because I think these aspects are really quite crucial. And Ellen MacArthur Foundation says it has to be regenerative. So it's not only about not to pollute anymore, to exit carbon, to use renewable materials, but actively to contribute to regenerate. It's about accessibility. So not to exclude groups of society, to make it graspable, understandable for everybody, to offer new qualities. And this is particularly interesting. They say it should be abundant by design. And this refers to a major term in the circularity debate, that is redundance. So this means that facing uncertainties, facing different development scenarios, we can't anymore only set on one solution. We have actively to produce redundance, many solutions, in order then that we are better set up, towards things that can work and other things that will not work. And this abundancy by design, I think can be a major inspiration for our work. And in the end, the aim to establish a territorial system that embeds the principles of circular economy across all spaces, functions, and frameworks. Well, that's it in form of a short introduction. I want to thank again to Incuna and to Miguel Alvarez, to Federica, and to all contributors of this day. And I'm looking forward to really interesting contributions and interesting discussions. Many thanks.
you, Jörg, and thank you all. And so good morning also from my side and welcome. It's a really pleasure to have you all here, and really we are excited to know more about your projects and researches all around the world. And so first of all, I want to again to thank Miguel Areces and Jörg Schröder for making this webinar also possible, and so hope that this will be also the starting point for next other collaborations also in future. And I want also to thank the audience and to the lecturers that accepted our invitation. So we decided for this webinar to create a moment for discussion around the topics of circular territories, and we decided to try to create combination between research and entrepreneurship, and so trying to create this connection between these two worlds. And so we imagine this this occasion now together, so this morning together and then in the afternoon, as a possibility to discuss around the many topics that also Jörg Schröder and Miguel Areces presented today. And so we will talk about different aspects and about the circular territories and from different point of views. And so that's why we decided to invite, as I mentioned, entrepreneurs, activists, experts, researchers in this field. And we are very happy to have this global participation.